I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. All girls all over the world. Original King Juliet for the girls, man. I love how all the girls I love to move their body.
I'm clever and I'm listening, and don't patronise me because people have died and I'm not happy. Tell me.
People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Hi, welcome to Moments with Mimi, and today we're going to discuss the Mandela effect and building on Neville Goddard's teachings as concerns that. Pardon me. The first thing to understand is this is objective man's way of trying to explain this effect. This effect has been going on forever, but now that we have the internet, we can see that large groups of people are seeing this, and only the side of the story you believe is in charge. One of the funny things about the Mandela effect is its very definition. It's a large group of people think something that happened when it did not. Really? How do you know it didn't happen? It's all relative to your perception. Every time you remember something, when you mull it over in your thinking, and you mull it over in your head, the science has shown that the synapses in the brain between the neurons and the synapses get stronger and stronger and stronger. It doesn't matter what you're telling yourself. That memory is being created and growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And this is what the Bible talks about. And this is what Neville Goddard and Dr. Murphy and all the metaphysicists out there are talking about. This happens first. First you do this. Then the rest of it all just goes. Time is wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Because today time was this way, but then you died to the old man and you rose as the new man. You're revising constantly, and you're constantly setting points, moments for you to experience.
Imagine if time all happened at once. Every moment of your life laid out around you like a city. Streets full of buildings made of days. The day you were born, the day you die, the day you fall in love, the day that love ends. A whole city built from triumph and heartbreak and boredom and laughter and cutting your toenails. It's the best place you will ever be.
And all these moments are happening at the same time. Okay, there's only one. There's only one man. There's only one God, which means there's only one conscious and one subconscious. And there's only one human imagination. Okay? This is the Three Musketeers. And D'Artagnan, it's the man. He's the one that is the vessel. They're using his words, his emotions, his feelings to talk to each other. Dad, can I have this? Yeah, sure, you can have that, baby doll. I want that. I accept that. Okay, we'll get that for you. All right. And then you just go forget about it. And then, hey, look, here it is. That's how it works. So the Mandela effect is something that humanity has now noticed and named it. Oh, look at that. We got to name it. The Mandela effect. Because it got noticed when Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013. And many people came out saying that, they thought Mandela had died in 1980. And this is a part of you will see what you perceive and what you're believing at the time. In the 1980s, Nelson Mandela was in jail, and a newspaper, the way the newspaper would work is the first story that came out in the first edition. Second story that came out in the next edition. And the final edition of the day was the final story. I experienced this with Richard Pryor. When Richard Pryor's accident happened with him freebasing cocaine, the first story that came out was his whiskey blew up when he went to light a cigarette. And I remember reading that, thinking, well, that's ridiculous. That can't be right. I'll catch the next edition. Next edition says, his lighter blew up when he went to light his cigarette. I'm like, no way, dude. Lighters don't blow up like that. And then came the final edition. He was freebasing cocaine, and that blew up. Okay, that makes sense, But how many people read the first story and never read the other stories? And this happens all the time. The media will make a statement, for example, in a print, and it's wrong, and then the next day in the corner in the bottom of the second page it says corrections. Sorry, he didn't really die. And this is what happened with Nelson Mandela. Okay, the first stories that came out when Winnie Mandela was whipping them all up, and all kinds of horrible things were going on, that Nelson Mandela, it was a rumor, Nelson Mandela had died in prison, but it was presented as a fact, and then just like Richard Pryor, right? And then the story changes, and it changes. And some people go and read the whole thing because that interested them. And some people just caught the first part and because that's what went in their head, okay? And that's what was there. Nelson Mandela died. Okay, so some people are going to come back at, wow, I thought he was dead. It's like that old Snake Plissken. You gotta love it.
Time is a structure relative to ourselves.
I'll get him in.
Time is the space made by our lives, where we stand together forever. Time and relative dimension in space. It means life.
So it's all relative to your perception at the time the information was coming out. So if you read the morning edition and didn't bother reading any the other edition, and the story didn't interest you, then you didn't follow it. And then later on you said, I thought he was dead. It's the same with like Oscar Mayer. Everybody sings it the right way. Oh, yeah, my Bologna has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My Bologna has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Okay, you even spell it out correctly. But because people don't learn to read phonetically, they don't understand that the A is a short A, and with the Y, it sounds like I, Meyer. And everyone knows that the last name of Meyer is M-E-Y-E-R, and the last name of Meyer is M-A-Y-E-R, Mayer. And it's not Mayer, it's Meyer. Okay, and it's a short A. And people will believe according to their perception. And they'll be adamant about it. No, it's Meyer. That's how you say it. That's how you spell it. No, it's always been Mayer. Well, what do you know? Yeah, right. I know it was Meyer. You know, people are like that. That's their perception, their belief. That is their world. There are people who believe the earth is flat. They've got all kinds of arguments that support their perception. It's all relative to your perception. Time, all these moments, you know, and God gives you life to experience the moments. You know, and you choose the moments you want to experience. And then life happens. That's the bridge of incidents. You know, so you're revising moments in the past. You're revising moments you want to experience. You're setting them up. You're imagining them. Imagination creates reality. And those people and their experiences are no less than the others. You know, so, I don't know, didn't Nelson Mandela die in 1980? Apparently some people thought so. And it motivated them to do certain things. You know, this is how it works. And it's just them noticing what's going on. And so, because they noticed it, they had to call it something. And so they noticed it with Nelson Mandela, so they call it the Mandela effect. It's been going on forever. I mean, everybody will tell you that Humphrey Bogart says, "Play it again, Sam." No, he doesn't. He says, "Play it, Sam." Same with Ingrid Bergman when they try to come at you with that. Well, Ingrid says it. No, she doesn't. Nobody says, "Play it again, Sam." It's play it. You played it for her. You can play it for me. I can stand it if she can stand it. Play it. Play it, Sam.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. What's that you're playing?
Oh, just a little something of my own.
Oh, stop it. You know what I want to hear.
No, I don't.
You played it for her, you play it for me.
Well, I don't think I can remember.
If she can stand it, I can. Play it.
Yes, boss.
It's not, "Luke, I am your father." It's, "I am your father." Now, where are you in your perception? What character were you identifying with when you were watching that? Were you identifying with Darth Vader? Were you identifying with Luke? You know, and that is how that happens, and it happens in your mind. You know, no, I heard him say. I heard him say. And it is true. They did hear it. Who's to say they didn't? That's how they remember it. And every time they remember it, it gets strengthened. Is that going to make the movie say it? I don't know. George Lucas has revised his movies so much, probably. Who knows? Who knows? You know, it's going on. And what I experience and what you experience in the same thing we're looking at it are two different experiences. We're two different people. You know, we have two different perceptions. So this is how, you know, Objective Man tries to explain it away. And the science part of it about how the brain synopsis works, and that is the how. That's the effect. Okay? First comes the thought, you know, and you consciously decide, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. And everything changes, you know. It changes according to what you think and what you believe. You know, if you're, I don't care. I'm not thinking about that. Oh, really? Great. You know, it just depends on what you're gonna. Everybody's story is different, so they're all picking up different things. You know, and as we come to learn we're one, you'll see that large groups thought this and large groups thought that. And this is Armageddon, getting all those groups, you know, all those people to think the same way. And you have to think of them individually and not as a group, because groups are just, you know, a collection of thoughts and beliefs, and they can all be washed away in an ocean of divine love if they're not loving. So, you know, some people are going to remember these riots and some aren't. Some aren't watching the news and just don't care. You know, only a racist sees race. So, you know, nobody judges a book by its cover. You ask each individual, and 99 out of 100 of them are going to tell you, yeah, nobody judges a book by its cover. You know, you got to have the one to prove the others. It's a whole. Okay? Yes. That's it, but it's a rule, and it can change if you join the one. The one who's over there going, and then we can all go that way. That's being a son of man. You know, take care of your world. The Mandela effect has been going on forever. It's nothing new. It's about, you know, what people will believe, revisions going on, moments being set. Each individual is going to believe what they believe. And they're going to know what they know. You know, and that's just their road. That's the role they're playing. You can release God in them from that role, you know, if it's intended with love. You know, nobody rejects love. But if you start trying to dig in the details, because, you know, you think everybody should drink almond milk because cow's milk is just not good for anybody, that's not coming from love. You're judging that cow and that milk. And you're saying one's better than another. That's just going to come bite your ass. And that person's going to keep drinking their cow milk. And that's just how it is. You know? It has to come from love. So I hope this helps. It's fun. You know, there's a lot of different effects that we could talk about. You know, it can be, you know, somebody who originally wrote it Bernstein, Stein, and then it got changed to Stain, Stain, both pronounced the same way. You know, it's just, who knows? And it's what you're going to perceive. Everybody's perception is different. And as people start coming together, and then they'll argue, you know, which one really happened. Well, I don't know. Which one do you think happened? You see? It's paradox. It doesn't matter. What happened for you? That's the one that matters. Okay? It's just your journey and the belief you need to strip out. Because there's only two things to believe in. It's God in you, yourself, and the human imagination, and God. And the human imagination. That's it. That's it. That's Joshua and Caleb. So, you know, be aware that everything's malleable. Everything. And quantum physics has proven this. So it's, you know, what it's going to be, whatever it's going to be for you. And as more people come together and communicate this and make each other aware of it, then, well, yeah, I thought Mandela, well, he must have. Well, no, look, he had his funeral in 2013. Wow, you know, I don't know why I thought that, but I did. And because I did, blah, blah, blah. So you know what? I'm not sorry I thought that. Who knows why it is what it is? Because I have no idea what people have been thinking and revising and doing and saying. I just trust in God. It's all God. It's all good. Just like that virus. That virus is God. It's all good. I love God. I love the virus. You know, same thing with everyone else. It's their thinking that you say, no, nobody thinks like that. Nobody thinks like that. I don't care how loud you are. I don't care what you do or say. I know who's in there. Doesn't matter. I know you're better than that. You can't trick me, you trickster. I know who you are. Well, I hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
You like to move it. All girls all over the world. Original King Juliet for the girls, man. I love how all the girls they love to move their body. When you move your body, you know move it nice and sweet and sassy. Alright? Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on model. Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on model. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically fit. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically fit. Woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Big ship body ocean at the big Titanic. Woman, nice, sweet, energetic. Big ship body ocean at the big Titanic. Woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Big ship body ocean at the big Titanic. Woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Big ship body ocean at the big Titanic.